Hi, it's David and Jeanne Gomm in the Stained Glass Studio, and we're now going to go over our listing of the different movies, the different videos that we've shot in 2021. This is a comprehensive list. We've gone down here and we picked out our favorites that we wanted to recount with you. And so we'll start with Jeannie's.
The first one?
Yeah.
Well, and this might be one of my favorites too. It's butterflies, bees, and dragonfly stained glass sun catchers. And I liked these because they have a body. Are those the ones that have the bodies?
Yeah.
And then the wings, so they're 3D, and I kind of enjoy making them and the 3D parts to them. So I think this is a fun video. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, and it's good also. Now, we did find some different sources for being able to make your own lead bodies. So you'll want to read down the comments of the video as well.
Well, there you go. Okay.
So that was it. And that one really had a lot of views.
That was a popular one. I think
Maybe.
People enjoy the 3D ones. Yeah. You can put the butterfly on a stick and put it in the garden, or you can put it in a plant inside, or hang it from the ceiling. You know, a lot of fun things you can do with that one.
That got over 9,000 views. It was close to 10,000. So hey, that was
your best one?
I don't know. I don't keep that good a track of them, but that was really right up there.
Okay.
The next one was putting a fat zinc on an arched sun. What's the word I want? It was an arched window. It had beehives. It had.
I love that one. A friend of ours designed that for a friend of his. Yeah. And so we were able to choose colors, and it was just a beautiful window. And I loved how David teaches in this video, because when I try to put rounded zinc on, I almost always kink it just a little bit. And David is so good, he didn't kink it once. And so I think that's kind of a difficult thing, that I think, you're trying to put it on the window without it kind of bending over on itself.
Yeah, now the secret to it is to just take it very slow, very easy, go gradual, and put lots and lots of nails.
Lots of nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's see, we did one on drilling holes in larger fused glass, and these weren't that large. They were about 2 or 3 inches wide and about 6 inches tall.
Yeah, but
and those?
We did a wind chime for someone, and we did it in different ways. I think we used E6000 to put the rings on them, and after a while, the people called us and they were very sad, and they said things were falling off. And so we thought, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so we decided to drill holes in them. And this is a very good video of how to drill holes, because there are certain things you need to do. You need to keep it wet, and you need the right kind of a bit.
And you have to make sure and go slow. You try to go a little bit too fast, put a little bit too much pressure on there, and crank. That's right.
Whoop.
And that does happen.
Even when you're careful, that happens.
So, what was the next one we were going to cover?
Fixing a cracked stained glass panel. Repairs. Oh, repairs are the worst.
I remember that one.
Yeah, we would much rather design and build an entire window rather than do repairs, because they're just tricky.
And when you get a repair done, it's not
it's the same.
Okay, it's the same thing it was before it got broken.
Yeah.
Anyhow, though, this has got some good information on it, and it did talk about why windows will get cracked.
Yeah. So, it's a good video. I think there's good things to learn from it. It's just not a fun thing. It's a lot more fun to build a window than to repair it.
Okay, this is the next one on the list, is the install stained glass mosaic. Now this was not one of our most popular, and I'm really surprised because it is a big glass mosaic, and it's a very impressive piece.
Well, it's always fun to put stained glass in public buildings. And we've had the opportunity to put some stained glass in some very nice public buildings. And I think that this was fun to be able to make it, like you say, a big piece.
4 feet wide and 12 feet high.
And in 4 different sections. Was it 4 sections or more?
There's 4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so it's kind of a fun one to watch, but it was a very impressive, important piece that we were able to do last year. So that's why
Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
of it.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next one is we did a water lily transom install. Now this one was interesting because it goes through the different steps of an install, from
That's
the
right.
cleaning, to the end of having the client get all excited. So yeah.
So it's a good one. It's got good information.
Yeah.
And now the next one, I believe, is the most important of the whole year. This is one that I believe everyone should watch, whether you're a stained glass artist, whether you're thinking about buying a piece of stained glass, whether maybe you're thinking about making something, maybe but just so that you have this knowledge, you can have. This is good for everybody who ever encounters stained glass. And I really believe this, and it's called Stained Glass Fundamentals, How to Hang Stained Glass. Like I said, I believe this is an important one for everybody. And you go through, it shows the different ways that stained glass can be held. And then, it might spark some interest in you. But if you ever have to hang a piece of stained glass, you're going to want to know one of these 4 techniques.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I think is a very important tip? Don't use suction cups.
We did that when we first started out. We had a stained glass studio in Missouri, and every day when I walked in, I would pick up all the ones that had fallen on the floor and re-stick them onto the windows, and I would set the ones that had broken to be repaired off in a area. And isn't that funny?
It took a while to realize that wasn't working.
Yeah. Now, have you changed? Are you on the next page?
So now we're talking about sticking down pattern pieces for greater stained glass success.
No, you're on a different page than me.
And the reason why I love this one is a student brought this information to me. And she said, this sticky tack, if you put this behind your pattern pieces and stick them down, then they won't move around on you. Well, that was so helpful because we have to take them in and out of the cubbies every time the student comes to class. Sometimes a gust of wind could blow through and just ruin all of your pattern pieces. But if you stick them down with a sticky tack, this was just, it was an eye-opener for me. I use it a lot now.
And then you could just take it off, put it on the back of the piece of glass once it's cut.
Yes.
Stick that down.
That right down. Yeah, that was a fun thing for me to learn.
I'm really hesitant to pick up new techniques because I already know the ones I'm doing, But in this case, it was very helpful.
Yeah. Oh, I love to learn. I love to learn new techniques. And this gal wasn't even a stained glass artist. She just used this to put, things on the wall for her kids' stuff. But she says, hey, this might work. And we tried it. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I got ahead of you there, Jeannie. So the stained glass fundamentals I talked about already.
So something that you might want to talk about is one of the videos was embellishing stained glass.
Oh, okay. We did a couple of them on sandblasting glass, and they were not very popular at all. However,
If you're interested in sandblasting, we got them.
the people who did watch them loved them.
There you go.
They were very
Yeah.
interested, but we only got about 200 views on either one of those. However, when I found the air eraser, I thought this would be a really good technique for people who don't have sandblasters to be able to easily get into the sandblasting, but not actual well, it's actual sandblasting because
It is.
the air eraser
It's just little.
is a little tiny airbrush. Doesn't take much air, so you don't have to have a great big sandblasting system, and it works pretty good. It's
not bad.
very good.
I was surprised.
Yeah, and I don't want to use the acid etching
But
technique.
that works. But if you don't like it,
It
yeah.
works, but it doesn't work good enough. But the air eraser really does
Nice.
work good.
Well, the next one is make your own stained glass workbench.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is interesting because there are a lot of people who come and take a couple of classes and they love it. And they said, we want a studio of our own. And so there are certain things that you need in your studio, and one of them is definitely a workbench. And so there are certain things that you need on your workbench to make it more helpful to make windows. And so I think this is a good video.
If you go to our website, which is www.gsg-art.com, and you go to the bottom of any one of the pages, there's the bottom footnote tabs, and down in their footnote is how to make your own stained glass workbench. And you click on that, and it'll take you to the workbench prints, how to do it. Now, if you go to this video, I kind of go over how a workbench is put together, but then I take you in the back of our studio where we build the really big windows, and I pick up the tabletop and show you how it's sitting on top of 3 workbenches, and that's how we've got it set up so that we can have
So you could separate them. If you
yeah, and we do.
Yeah.
Occasionally, summertime, we have a big class or something, we'll take them out onto the driveway and people can
Yeah.
work around them.
Yeah,
It works
yeah,
great.
That's fun.
So that's a really good resource for you.
Yeah. So this one I'm going to let you talk about too because it's lighting with LED lights.
Okay. Well, we went over to our friend David Young's house. And David has done several pieces of glass. And when he found us, he started coming and buying glass from us so that he could use it for his project. And when he got done with his project, he invited us over to see it. So we did. We went over. We got to see, first of all, we saw these beautiful peacock windows that he did for his office. And they're getting natural light. And all of the rest of the light, the glass that he's got in his living room and the surrounding area, is lit by LEDs. And how long is that one? It's like 18 feet long and about 12 feet tall.
It goes clear across his room.
Yeah, and it's very tall, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see how wonderful it looks. I mean, you would swear it was getting light from the outside. It's perfect.
I think this was a technique that you learned, that a new technique that you actually enjoyed.
Oh, it's just wonderful. And so lighting with LEDs is just a wonderful technique, and it was really great to go over to David's and see them.
Well, I think the last one we want to talk about is how to avoid stained glass soldering blobs. Now, this is kind of funny because the reason that I wanted David to even touch on this is because I was having trouble with this. You know, if you have a whole bunch of parts coming to one little place, then you get too much solder.
So
It's
with
a blob.
a little help from our friend Steve McQueen, who's passed away, you know, of course, but
Yeah. Well,
we gotta-
because this one, David had so much fun doing the B-roll.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to see this one. It's just funny.
yeah.
And you might learn something. Who knows? So,
And then there's a final one that we did kind of enjoy. It's just kind of a favorite of mine. I mean, it's not a great video, but to see our son-in-law Greg's woodwork
he's so
on this one about
so-
arch panels with diamonds and exceptional woodwork. Now, all of these will be listed in the description of this video, so you'll be able to see any one of them that we've talked about. And then I think I can get about 5 or 6 of the ones. So there'll be some that they'll pop up, you know, the little. You'll be able to find out how to do them or how to see them.
Well, we just welcome you to come and watch our YouTube videos. We have fun doing them. Some of them you'll see and you think, oh, well, they were having a fun time, but that was just silly.
Oh, waste of time. Well,
we just-
they're not
we have
all
fun.
they're not all award-winning videos. However, you know, we're showing you techniques that we have learned and that we use ourselves.
Yeah, I'm just now learning how to make beads. And
Yeah.
once I get the hang of it, we'll make a video about it.
Yeah, and we've gone over this year. We've already done several new product demonstrations.
Yeah.
And some of
That's
those
fun.
have been pretty good. In fact, one of those is an LED light board, and so that one was
Yes,
good.
very fun.
But we didn't talk about it here because it's not part of 2021. It's part of 2022.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate being able to help you. If you ever have questions about stained glass, I don't know if we'll know the answer, but we'll sure try to find out for you. So,
And we appreciate your comments.
yeah.
It's heartwarming to have somebody, you know, maybe they point out, oh, you really didn't know what you were doing there.
In a nice way.
But it was nice that you had made the attempt. So that's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
And
So-
if you want to join us on Patreon, you don't even have to be part of Patreon to see some of the Patreon video that we put up. I don't think I'm very good at it. I put
something
it out.
we're learning.
I mean, it's a stress just to get the one video a week that we do put out. So,
So, yeah, keep watching, keep commenting, and tell your friends, especially those who are interested in stained glass or in a creative outlet. And we'll keep making them if you keep watching them.